Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to Black Women Amplified, the podcast. Your host, Monica Wisdom Tyson, brings you downloadable conversations that matter to women around the globe. We discuss all things Black girl magic, amplify our voices, and transform our challenges into triumphs. Monica calls on her league of extraordinary women to push our boundaries, share their expertise, and stories of personal transformation. Welcome your host of Black Women Amplified, Monica Wisdom Tyson.
Hello, Black Women Amplified family. This is your girl, Monica Wisdom, and I am so excited to be with you today. We have an incredible conversation, and I cannot wait for you to meet our very special guest. Get ready to be inspired and absolutely amazed. Today, we welcome a powerhouse Broadway star whose talent and tenacity have defied gravity, an artist whose remarkable journey spans both sides of the Atlantic, captivating audiences from Broadway to London's West End. Marisha Wallace has performed for royalty, including the King and Queen of England. She has shared the stage with symphonies across the globe and now returns to Broadway, starring alongside the incomparable Billy Porter and Cabaret at the iconic Kit Kat Club. Hailing from a close-knit community in North Carolina, Marisha's story is rooted in hard work, integrity, and an unshakable commitment to her craft. From her breakout role in Dreamgirls on the West End, where she spent 8 transformative years, to her Olivier nominations in Guys and Dolls and Oklahoma. Marisha's voice has become synonymous with excellence and soul. She joins us today to share the inside scoop on life behind the scenes in Broadway and beyond, including the release of her breathtaking new album, Live in London, recorded at the historic Adelphi Theater, and is now available on all platforms. It is an honor to welcome this remarkable soul, Marisha Wallace, to the Black Women Amplified podcast. Be prepared to be moved, inspired, and elevated. Hello, Marisha. How are you? It is so exciting to have you here on the podcast.
Hello, it's nice to be here.
You're having some incredible moments right now, and we have so much to cover because some people know who you are and some people don't. So I want to make sure that we get the broad spectrum of your incredible story and your incredible journey. And even though you might be new to some people, you had quite a long career in the arts. When did you know that music and performing would be part of your life or to become your life?
I grew up in a singing family, so everyone in my family plays instruments or sings, and we grew up singing in church. My grandma was the pastor of the church that I went to, and my mom was the choir director, and my dad played the guitar, and my brother played the drums, and I was singing. So I've always knew music was a part of my life. I just didn't know that I could do it professionally and that I could do it on a grander scale. Which is what I had an amazing teacher, Miss Grantham, who was like, I don't think you're like the other kids. I think you could possibly do this professionally. And I didn't even know what that looked like. And so she took me to my first Broadway show. And then I was like, oh, that's what it could be. She took me to see Aida, and I saw Heather Headley leading the show. And I was like, wow. And she was like, that's you. That's what you are supposed to do. Isn't that wild that this woman saw that in me when I was, 15?
That's amazing.
And I would help her choreograph things for the shows, and I was in the choirs and things like that. But yeah, that's how I got into it.
So tell me about the community that you grew up in.
So I grew up on a hog farm in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Very rural, you know what's crazy? You know what I love about Black families and Black moms and things? I never knew when we were poor. I didn't realize, because we weren't as poor as everyone else, but we were still poor. Do you know what I mean? Like we had things, but I didn't know that we didn't have everything
Mm-hmm.
until I got older and then started traveling. And I was like, oh, everyone didn't sleep in the same bed in the same room. Like everybody, oh, people have their own rooms, people have that. But I have friends who were more well off. So then I knew that we weren't as affluent as everyone else. But yeah, I grew up that way. And like my mom worked in a factory, my dad was a brick mason, and everyone just got by. We just got by on our hard work. Like, if anything, I learned from growing up that way was work ethic. Like, we were some of the hardest working people you ever want to meet. I still feel today that's why I am successful, is because of the hard work instilled in me by my family.
So talk to me about that work ethic. Like, was it long days, early mornings, and
Well, we were sharecroppers as well. So, like, my grandma pulled tobacco, my great grandma did cotton, like pulled cotton. My mom pulled tobacco. My grandparents had a hog farm, and we did like salad, and we would take the hogs to the slaughter and all that stuff. So that was work. Like, there was no breaks. You just were working so hard to protect your family, to put food on the table.
Mhm.
My mom worked in a factory for over 35 years for like $10 an hour, which was like, that didn't even like
register in your head?
register to me the sacrifice she made for me to feel like I wasn't poor. Like, her working for, I was like, did you ever get a raise? And she was like, no, not really. We just got used to, but in 30 years, she was like, they never asked her for like, do you want to move up in management, anything, because of systematic racism.
Mm-hmm.
All the white people were managers. All the Black people were the workers,
Mm-hmm.
Black and Latino. So she left that job and then got a new job now at the same place, which is crazy. But now she runs the whole place.
Oh,
Isn't
wow.
that wild? So I was like, you could have ran it the whole time, but like they just didn't allow it. But yeah, she taught me a lot about hard work and about like what that sacrifice meant. She came to my opening night last week and she was crying and she was like, I always question God, like why I went through all the stuff that I went through in my life and why it was so hard and why everything, why I sacrificed so much. She was like, it's because I had to make you.
Right.
I had to make you. So now that I see what I've made, she's like, now it all feels like worth it, what I went through. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And thank you for sharing that, because so many of us don't tell that part of our story. The
Yeah.
part that, that's ingrained in us because our parents did work so hard because they had no other option.
No.
They had no other options but then to work 12 and 13 and 14-hour days. And to be able to create this fantasy for us that life is great.
Right?
Like, oh no. Oh, we're gonna have pork steak.
Yeah. We're gonna have lasagna. We're gonna have spaghetti. We're gonna have steaks. We're gonna have chicken. We're gonna have all this stuff, all these boxes and stuff coming in. And you're like, what? This because they're working 12 hours a day.
Right. And then they
Wow.
set a beautiful table, so you didn't know that your table was any different than anybody else's. So that's beautiful.
No,
That's
you didn't
beautiful.
know.
So
We had none of that.
when you decided to, I always like to get into people's head, their thought process, because I think it's important that we see how we think, how other people think. When you decided that I'm going to go for it to this life in the arts, what made you do it and focus on it? And what were you clear about with yourself as well as the world that you were walking into?
I went to school for theater education and musical theater. So I had got a scholarship called the Teaching Fellow Scholarship. So I used that scholarship, where it's only supposed to be for teaching. But I was like, I'm going to double major on the side and get them to kind of pay for it without them knowing. So I was doing like 22-hour credits or whatever. It was full schedule.
Oh,
But
wow.
I was like, I really wanted to have both. And I knew my family couldn't afford to just pay for me to have a performing career, a performing degree. So I was like, well, let me just figure this out. So by the time I left school, I was already starting to work because we had like a summer stock company where they would invite people from New York to come down and we would get paid like to do summer shows. So when it was time to leave, I was so ready to go because I knew, I don't know, I always had this drive That, and I always felt like there was something else for me. I never felt like I belonged where I grew up, if that made sense. Like I always would look around and be like, I don't think I'm like these people. Like I feel like I'm different. I always felt different. Well, first off, I wasn't afraid. I feel like everyone where I'm from is very scared of everything. Scared to fly, scared to get on a plane, scared to try something new, scared of heights, scared of travel, scared of, and I was never scared. I was always like, of course, I want to see the world. And so I got a job right out of college and I was working at a theme park. And I remember the day after I graduated, I put all my stuff in my car and drove the 14 hours to Pennsylvania from North Carolina. And I didn't look back. And I remember my mom was like, "You gonna go by yourself and drive by yourself?" I was like, I gotta get out of here. I just knew I had to get out of there. But I just knew there was nothing for me there. Like I seen what life can be for someone who stays in Goldsboro. And that's it's nice if you want that life, but it's not the life that I wanted for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted more. I wanted something else.
Did you know what that was, or you just knew it was something else?
I knew I wanted to perform. I had kind of got a little taste of it because I won this like North Carolina Idol. So it was like a heat to get to American Idol. And so I had won that. And then they sent me to New Jersey and I auditioned for American Idol. But they just literally sent me there with nothing. I'm like 17 years old. I didn't know you had to be there at 4 o'clock in the morning to get in line. Nobody told me that.
Right.
So I get there at like 9 o'clock. And it's like, I'm number 50,000 or whatever it was. And I had to wait for 12 hours, 14. No, it was more than that. It was like all day long. And I was like in the last group. And I felt like they've already like picked whoever they wanted. But it was a great experience though, because then I got to record a song for radio with Bad Boy producer at the time. So it was my first like taste of it. And I was like, well, if I can get that far, even in North Carolina, how far could I get if I left? So yeah, I just kept going. I still can't believe that I was so brave. Like I look back at that girl and I'm like, whoa, she was so brave. And at that time I didn't feel brave, but I was brave.
It takes a lot of courage to say, I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah.
And then not know where you're going.
With no blueprint. There was no blueprint.
Or a trust fund.
Internet. No trust fund, no internet. Like we barely had YouTube at the time. There was no even body, because like now I always tell kids that I mentor, I was like, you have everything. You have access to all the resources. You got access to me. You got access to people being like, this is how you can do it. But we didn't have nothing. We just were like, fly by the seat of your pants, see what happens.
I mean, I tell people all the time, we had a flyer and a pager, and that's how we conducted business. That was it.
Wow. Yes, flyers. Remember flyers?
Yeah.
Remember you could like pull the number off?
Yes. And you go around and put your posters up in the coffee shops and all the places. Yes. Yes. But now, girl, ma'am.
It's a whole new ballgame.
Yes. You are stepping on the Broadway stage as Sally Bowles and Cabaret at the Cat Club. I can't even say that properly. While simultaneously releasing your album live in London. How are you navigating that process?
You know what? Being back in New York has been a full circle moment because I left in 2016. Okay. I was working on a show called Something Rotten, and I was playing a tap dancing egg. And I was eggy white, and I would sing, and I am telling you, I'm not going to be an omelet. No, no, no. That was my part in the show. And then...
Was that your first Broadway show?
It was my second. This is my second Broadway show.
Okay.
And I got a call saying Amber Riley has pneumonia. Can you come replace her for 3 weeks? Mm-hmm. And can you come now, like tonight? And so I did, and I packed up all my stuff. And I knew in that moment I wasn't coming back. I don't know how I knew that, because even how I packed, I threw everything in my basement. I prepared myself to never return. I don't know how I knew that. But I think because I had been praying to God that whole year, I was praying, God, if you get me out of this situation, because I was in a terrible marriage. I was not happy. I was struggling. So it's crazy. I was on Broadway living my dream and I was struggling. Like I was living check to check. Like I was taking care of this man who was mentally unwell. And it just was not, I said, God, if you just get me out of this, I will run for my life. I will just trust you. I will trust everything you say. And I'm not, no word of a lie. When I got on my knees, like 2 weeks later, I got this call and I was like, God, this is it? This is your idea? What?
Well, you
Move to another
said you
country?
wanted.
I was like, what? This is the way out? I was like, okay, well, here we go. I said I was going to listen to what you said. So, and I did it. And I ended up divorcing my ex-husband and I stayed in London and became like a sensation, like overnight. It was crazy. So people saw me perform and they were like, what is this? Like, what? And they just latched on, the British people latched on, and they've never let me go. I was there for 9 years. I sang for the royal family. I've sang for the king, for the queen. I just recently got my British citizenship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I became a part of the fabric of not even just.
You didn't become, you already were. They just saw you.
Yeah, they just saw me.
You didn't become,
But
you
like
already were.
I'm with prime ministers. I was at the U.S. ambassador's house this past week, and like I'm a part of the government of like part of the society. Like I sing for all these people, and it's really cool to be so ingrained in the culture of the UK and to be celebrated as a Black woman, like an American Black woman. Like it's just not what I thought was going to happen. And then I got nominated for 2 Olivier's there, and then I got Cabaret, and I was the first ever full-time Black Sally Bowles in the 60-year history of the show. They've had understudies, but they've never had a full-time in the role. And people don't really understand why that is important. I think
that's major.
It's important because people are like, well, we had understudies. And I was like, well, that's not the same, because those women also deserve to have that role full-time. But why was that never a thought?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I always feel like it is important to highlight that, because when you give someone the full role who is Black, it says to the world that we agree that this is okay. Right. And also it provides Black women access to wealth, to awards, to growth in your career, to access to the things that we've seen our white counterparts get. They have multiple homes, all the things and that's what really gives me fire and energy to keep going, is because it's not just about, oh, I'm Black and I'm playing this part. No, this is like complete access to having the things that we have been shut out of.
It opens
all
up
around.
A portal of opportunities that you would have never had.
A portal, babe.
Your gift led the way, your prayers opened the doors, and now it opens up this portal to a whole world that you've never seen before.
No.
Like, is this how you all live?
Girl, this is what's been killed. Like, even playing this role, I was like, wait, this is what white women get to feel? Like, they get to feel seen.
Yes.
You get to have all the emotions in your role. Like, you get to experience rage, funniness, sadness.
You get to be a whole person.
You're a whole human being. That has been mind-boggling for me, to be like, oh, this is what it feels like to be seen as a whole person. And I felt that way in London, because for the first time, I didn't feel like Marisha, the Black actress, or Marisha, the girl, the singing the soul. I was just Marisha.
Right.
The Western Star. Or I was just Marisha. It was not even like a thought. And also, when I wanted to do things like play Adelaide in Guys and Dolls, it wasn't even a question. Like, the director was like, what are you talking about? You're the best person for this job.
As a Black woman from America, from the rural South, how did you release that so that you could fully embrace these roles?
That is such a great question, because I went to London with all of that baggage, with all of those no's, with all of those, this is what you should be doing, this is what you're allowed to do, There's only about 4 or 5 roles you can play. I played them all. Effie, Motormouth, Becky and Waitress, sidekick, friend, blah, blah, blah. And then I got Oklahoma and I played Ado Annie. And I was like, oh, it was that really. And then also just living there and being immersed in such a diverse culture where everybody's from everywhere. Not so we feel like, oh, New York is very diverse. No, London is
London
diverse.
is not only is it diverse, but they have whole communities
Whole communities,
that are
whole
devoted to
religions,
them. Yes.
whole cultural, like clothing, dress, like, but then microcosms of communities, like within those communities. Like, so you didn't feel like it was just black and white and Latino or whatever. You felt a part of a true melting pot. So just being there and being away from the South and being away from America helped me to find myself. I didn't realize how much of what we think about ourselves as Black women is told to us
Yes.
by the media, by our family, by what we think we're supposed to be, the limitations we've been put under. So when all those things are gone, who are you at your core? What do you like? I was like, I don't even know what food I like. Do I know what food I like?
I had that exact conversation with myself. I'm like, why am I eating this? Do I even like it?
Do I even like that? You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Do I even like this
100%.
food? Like, what food do I like? Where do I like to travel? Do I like beaches? Oh, I actually do like swimming. I didn't even know I like swimming. But you know what I mean? Like, you just don't know until you get these chance to like discover yourself. It's very eat, pray, love in that way, going there. But I had to strip off the shackles of that thinking. And even I've kind of given that back to my mom because she's afraid of everything. She's afraid to fly, afraid of bridges, afraid of this, afraid of that. It's her mental health, but also it's her physical, like her, what she's been taught. They've been taught to stay in one place. This is how they keep us from escaping. This was like our way. This is how they protected us from getting in trouble with the law or just staying in one spot. Don't move, don't show yourself, don't make any noise, just stay in one place. And then I was like, no, I want to make some noise.
My uncle always said that we were also put in our own reservations, our
Yes.
neighborhoods, and don't leave here. Because if
Yes.
you leave here, we're going to get you. And so
Yes.
that fear they put onto us about being safe. I mean, your mom, I'm sure, was raised in Jim Crow and the segregated South. So her keeping you contained was all about keeping you safe because
Yeah.
the terrorism that she saw in her life, she didn't want you to experience any of that.
It's so interesting because at the time I just thought it was my mom being overprotective or like trying to stop me from being successful. I was like, well, you don't understand, you don't get me. Da, da, da. But it was just all her just trying to make sure I was safe because that's all they knew was terror. And if I could keep you in my little spot, then I can protect you. But it's so interesting. So yeah, I had to release that and I did release that. And then also I had to work on myself. Like I went on a fitness journey and lost a bunch of weight, but it was more about a mental weight that I lost, just unpacking all of the things. Because I remember I had a teacher who said, you need to either lose 50 pounds or gain 50 pounds. And I was like, why? He was like, because that's how they see Black women. Either you're really small or you're the big Black mama, whatever. And that really made me angry. I was like, well, why do my white counterparts get to be all size, all things? Like when I look on the street, there's women of all sizes. Like, why does that matter? And I just went on this quest to try to change a lot of the stereotypes about Black women in the industry.
And you are representing us well.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, I don't know this woman, but I'm so proud of her
Everyone says that.
because I
Everyone says that.
know what you had to go through to even open the door within your mind for yourself.
Yes.
Because that mental weight is so heavy.
Heavy, babe.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the key to your freedom, is to see yourself beyond what the world has told you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can write your own script because the script that goes around in your brain is what people have told you. So people have said, you can't do this. You aren't going to make it there. You got to be this size. You got to look like this. You got to do. But what if you change that script and said, no, I am this. People will accept me for that. If I build it, they will come. I don't need anyone to make me a star. I can do it myself. I don't have to prescribe to the stereotypes of what everyone has said for me to be. I can be everything. I am everything. Well, that's okay. People always say, oh, you got to pick one. No, I'm everything.
I'm all the things.
This is what this role has really opened up for me, being Sally. I was like, wait, they never thought we could do this. Whoa, you really just thought we couldn't do anything. You don't think we can do this. That was crazy as well. Because I remember when I got cast originally, people were like, I don't know. I don't see her as a Sally. She can't do drama. She can't do. But how do they even know?
Right.
This is just all based on a stereotype that someone created that said, oh, yeah, based off the other things she's done, I don't think she can do this.
They said the same thing about Audra McDonald in Gypsy. Oh, she can't belt. She's a classical singer. She tore them down.
Right? And that's the thing I love about Black women is that just when you think you got them figured out, they're going to just switch up on you real quick. They're going to show you something. Actually, you might as well tell them not to do it because that's when they're going to really show out.
Oh, watch me work. We say, watch me work.
Watch me work. Let me cook.
Oh, okay. I'm going to show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. That's the best part.
And Audra has been out here switching these roles for a long time. So my director for Guys and Dolls was Sir Nicholas Heitner, and he cast Audra in her first show that she got Tony for. That was Carousel.
Oh, wow.
So he's been switching these parts that are usually played by white women for many years. So he told me she had her last audition for Carousel, and she had to meet the Rodgers and Hammerstein estate. And he was like, okay, we know this is their first time. I'm a Black Carrie Partridge, Pepperidge, I think that's how I said the right name. But he was like, okay, if you do this one, you're going to get it. She was like, okay. So she goes in and she starts to sing and she faints. Like, boom, faints. And Nick is like, oh no, he was like, oh no, she's not going to get it. And then she gets up and she says, can I have a drink of water? And then she gets the drink of water. She goes out, she comes back, and she smashes it. And she gets the part, and she gets her first Tony. And he was like, if you ever thought you had a bad audition, you never had a worse audition than Audra had for Carousel. So me and Audra did a concert in London together last year, or maybe a year ago now, and for Rodgers and Hammerstein. And I told her, I was like, Nick Heitner wants to see you. Would you mind meeting up with him? And she goes, not the sir. It was like she was 19 all over again. And then I facilitated those two getting together in the room. And so I was like, here's Nick. And I just stood there and watched them. He was like,
she probably just melted in that moment.
She melted. He melted. He was like, look what you've become. And I was in tears. Like, I literally was like, he did the same thing for me. And it took someone to be like, I don't care what you look like. You are the best person for this role. You're the best person for this job. Let's change it. Let's spice this up. Like, so to see them to reconnect after 30 years was just so beautiful. And it also gave me hope to say, I have to continue the work that Audra has done. Like, I have to continue that legacy of breaking these barriers and breaking the glass ceiling. But I love that story, and that's my favorite Audra story
ever. Thank you for sharing it. She's the dynamic, and so are you.
Yeah.
When I was sent your information, I got on the YouTube. I said, now, how come I don't know who this lady is?
Oh.
Your voice is divine. I'm a music lover.
Yeah.
And I've seen Michael Jackson. I've seen Prince. I've seen all the people. I'm like, she's one of those people.
Oh,
because even through video and YouTube, I felt chills
Wow.
from your performance. And I went down the rabbit hole, just
Everybody
song
goes
after
down my
song.
YouTube rabbit hole. It's
It's,
like legendary.
but your voice is just, I'm like, this is the Beyonce of Broadway. Who is this lady?
Yeah.
Because your voice is just not just your voice, but you literally put everything on the stage. I can just see you emote as you're singing. That's
Yeah.
a beautiful talent. And we got to talk about this album.
Ooh, the album is so good. So speaking of Beyonce, this is my renaissance. This is my
Okay.
Cowboy Carter. This is like, so I wanted to tell my story of growing up on this hog farm and moving to London and becoming a star there and coming back and the whole Josephine Baker of it all. But through song, through all of the shows that you've known me for. So I've been in a lot of hit shows which have major big songs like And I'm Telling You, Cabaret, and Maybe This Time, Listen from Dreamgirls, songs from Waitress, but then also all my influences like Whitney Houston, Ella and Etta James and Tina Turner. So I wanted to put all of that in the concert. So it's about 20 songs. It's in 2 acts, but we recorded it live at the Adelphi Theater. There was about, I think, 1,200 people there that night. So it was a big West End house. And it was just the most magical night because I was like, oh my God, everybody is here for me. How did this happen? How did I go from like no one knowing my name to this concert? And it was just a celebration of all my fans because everybody who supports me has joined at different points in my career. But when they do join, they stay and they're like, we're all growing and going on this journey together. But the songs are incredible. I had like a 15-piece orchestra. The sound is so insane. So when you listen to it, you feel like you are in the space. You feel like you put your headphones in, you're at the concert. And it has high energy, but then there'll be points where you cry. There're gonna be points where you're dancing. It's just a really incredible album. I'm really proud of it. I'm so proud of it.
Did you know that Black Women Amplified has a private membership? Yes. And I am inviting you to become a founding member of the Queen's Clubhouse, a sanctuary for Black women to connect, grow, and shine. From behind the scenes conversations to our Crown Book Club, this is a space for you to take off your cape, recharge, and be celebrated. It takes place on Patreon. So please visit queen.blackwomenamplified.com to learn more and to join. Now, there are 2 songs that I want to talk about that are on the album that I was like unexpected for me.
Yeah.
One is Proud Mary. I
Yes.
was like, Proud Mary, Tina?
Tina.
Made Famous by Ike and Tina. And so what does that song mean to you? And what does Tina Turner mean to you?
Oh my God. Well, Tina Turner is me. So Tina left the United States in her 40s after the breakup with Ike, and she was working in Vegas and trying to make it, and nothing was popping off, but she was doing a little residency. She goes to London. She gets, she starts into the record business there, and people were like, what are we going to do with this Black woman? She's 40 years old. She used to be a washed up like soul singer, is what they were saying. And she changed her sound completely, got with these European producers, and they made What's Love Got to Do with It. And then she became one of the biggest stars in the world because she took that chance, moved to Europe, and went where she was loved, not just where she was needed, and became one of the biggest stars in the world. She sold out Wembley Stadium. Like the Tina Turner you know now is from her moving to London. Like that's the Tina Turner you know. So I had to do something for Tina because she's kind of the blueprint for me as well. Because even though I'm in theater, I have a full music career. So I went and got a record deal with Decca Records in 2020. And I've been working on that for a long time. And that's the next step. Like I want to do arenas. Like I want to bring back that Liza at the Palace, Judy at the Palladium, Shirley Bassey with the orchestra at the arenas. So that's kind of why I chose Tina. And she's so aspirational. She really fought through it all. And she's from the South, from Tennessee. And she made a
Well,
whole
I'm a
nother.
St. Louis girl, so we claim her too.
Yes, she is. Yeah, so
She made that same
she
journey.
made it.
Even
She made the same journey and then ended up becoming European herself. And she spent most of her life in Munich, I think, in Switzerland. And so she like lived her best life. And it's just another one who traversed that and found her light in Europe.
Josephine Baker, James Baldwin, so many
Yes, Marian
who
Anderson, like
moved across to be seen.
BBC, Eartha Kitt, like so many. And that's what I brought to Cabaret. I wanted to highlight the stories of those expats who couldn't deal with the racism in the Jim Crow South, who just wanted to perform, who just wanted to be themselves, who just wanted to be, didn't want to have to deal with, oh, I can't go through the front of the restaurant. I got to go through the back of the restaurant. I can't sing on this stage, but for certain times and certain things, and I can't eat the food. And they didn't have to deal with that when they went to Europe. They just could be themselves. And it's so funny, I've done the same thing and it's 2025 and I'm just coming back and it's still happening, which is wild to think. But I hope I give people another way. Like, I just want to remind people that there's another way. There's go where you're loved, not just where you're needed. And then when you come back, people will appreciate you for who you actually are. And sometimes you do need to go rediscover yourself without all these bounds and chains of racism and whatever. It was just nice to be free. It was just nice to feel like I could just make my art without resistance, like to live my
and
life.
stopping yourself because of
Yes.
the mental blocks and the
Yeah.
conditioning.
So yeah, the album was amazing. And coming back to Broadway with Billy Porter. And I took Billy to London. So when it was time for me
Now
to
tell that
cast in
story.
this,
You took
so
Billy to London.
yeah, so I got cast in Cabaret and they were like, you need an MC to match you. And Billy and I have been friends for about 15 years. And I was like, ooh, I got the perfect person. And I didn't know his story with Cabaret, where he tried to audition for the Sam Mendes version in the 90s or like early 2000s. And they said, no, he couldn't even audition. It was like not even a thought. So when I told him I wanted him to do this with me, he just started crying because he was just like, wow, God's delay is not denial, is what his mother always says. And I brought him to London and I thought he needed to go experience what it was like to do his art without resistance. Because even when he
Mm.
got there, he had his backup and he was like, Marisha, I was like, no, you can just relax because it's okay. They're going to give you everything you want. They're going to give you everything you need. Just ask for what you want. And he was like, oh, what? It was even a mind shift for him. And also, he directed a play out there now that got 5-star reviews. They loved him. Like, it was amazing to be able to take one of my friends and legends who had already made it over there to see how they could be loved, how they could be received in an even better way.
I call that our own personal underground railroad.
Truly,
It's
truly.
like, come on.
I've been helping people
Quietly, come on.
there. Yeah, I've been helping people get their visas. I've helped loads of people get their visas. I've been referring them to my immigration lawyer. I've been helping people get agents. Like I literally have been trying to help people get to safety where they can like do their thing and not feel confined. Like so many people are asking me now, especially now, how can I move to London? How can I move to Europe? But I'm back now. But I'm back with a purpose because I want to show people what you can become if you allow yourself to be brave enough to risk moving away. And what does that look like to come back in your full power? What does that look like?
And speaking of your power, not only you're performing this album, you're a producer on the album.
Yes.
What did it feel like to take that ownership and take control of your entire project?
Well, that's what I've been doing slowly over the past couple of years. I made a company. I've built an incredible team of people, my manager, my agents. We brought on investors who believe. I call them my believers. I just go find all the people who believe in me and what I'm trying to do and just collect them. And there's so many that we've made over the years who love us and who want to just be a part of what we're creating because they know it's special. They know that what I'm trying to do is special. It's disruptive in a good way, in a way that the industry needs to be disrupted. So I got these amazing producers on it and a record label, Center Stage Records and Westway. So Center Stage is a US record label and Westway is a UK record label. They came together to do this. I just was still flabbergasted at all the amount of people who said yes all the time. And I was like, what? They were like, of course, we can find the money, we can raise money, we can do this, we can get it. And I'm like the CEO of this incredible company that I've created.
What's
and
the
I
name of
think
your company?
it's called MAW Productions, and then it's called Reese Productions because Reese was my name when I was in North Carolina. Reese Productions in the US. And I want our people to own our work. There's been so many times where there's a lot of people who made a lot of money off my talent, who made a lot of money off my sacrifice, and that's been great. But I was like, well, why can't we also own our work and not just be for hire? Not just be showing up, clocking in. We're actually creating the work as well and hiring people and bringing on people and making jobs for people. That's important. That's so important. I'm doing a lot of writing now. I'm working on a musical that I wrote that I want to produce that will create jobs for Black women to have. I want there to be an alphabet that's for Black women, that is a running role that goes on and on for years, that women can pop in and out and do, make their money, take care of their children, go to the next level.
Generational.
Generational wealth and access that I know I have to create because no one's creating it for us. We have to do it. Because that's the thing. People are like, well, we need this. I said, why don't we just make the table? If they don't invite us to the table, let's make the table. Let's make the room. Let's make the house that the table's going in. Let's just do the whole thing.
I tell people all the time, I say, we built America. How come we can't build our own?
Right?
Like, we have the ingenuity and the knowledge, and now we have technology that's accessible to all of us. So let's work on this. Let's bring it all in.
But that's the mentality, though, that we have to change about ourselves. Because people think, I can't do that. I don't have money to do that. I don't know. I said, but then you need to link up with the people who do have the money to do that, who do want to help. And they do want to help. I think that's the other thing people think, oh, diversity. I said, diversity is inclusion of everyone. It's not just saying, oh, I only want Black people on my team, or I want everyone who has any kind of expertise to come onto the team to help us push this agenda, to help to move it forward. We need the expertise of the people who've been doing it before. We need them. We need to be added. We're adding people. We're not taking anybody away. We're adding more people to the conversation so that we can be a part of it. It's very interesting once you start getting to this side of the industry and start seeing it as a business and not just as a dream. Like, it's actually a business. And when you learn the mechanics of the business, then you can start to climb in the business and start to be a part of the business. LaShawn's is already doing this as being a producer and being a lead producer on a lot of shows that are doing really well. And now it's just time to open it up to the younger generation. Because I feel like my generation, I'm about to be 40. We're a little bit removed from that generation. But my generation was the worker bees. Like, we were like the millennials. We're here. And I was like, now it's time for us to like be the people we looked up to. Now it's time for us to be the leaders in our community and show the younger people there is a better way. We can own our art and we can have more access.
And we can create art. We don't just have to create music or a show or a production or an Instagram page. We can literally create art.
We're already the tastemakers.
100%.
This is what I always say. We're already ahead of the game. We already have the ideas. They want our ideas.
They take our ideas.
They take our ideas. So why not?
Why don't we just lead it and get paid for it?
Exactly. Why don't we sell the ideas? Why aren't we selling our own products?
Hmm.
It's very interesting, like with the rollback of DEI and all that. It was like we saw how ingrained we were in their system and that we didn't have our own system.
Because it is crumbling now.
And it crumbles. And that's really sad because it's like we did need them. We needed them to get to the levels that we have gotten today. And like, what does that look like now that it's been stripped away? So I hope that we as a community can rebuild and start making these for ourselves.
So, are you documenting this process for you?
Yeah, I document it on. I need to write more down. I'm
All the
trying to.
things,
I need
the
to write a book.
blueprints.
I do. I need to write the blueprints down. You're
Can you
right.
just like put a notebook in your bag
Yes, yes.
and
I
like,
need to
okay, I
document.
have a meeting with John today at 3 and he is blah, blah, like just document it. You don't have to write the
Well, you know
story.
what's so funny? So many people call me all the time, being like, "How did you do this? How did you get the album made? How did you find funding to do the concert? How did you do this?" And I pass it along. I'm not a gatekeeper at all. Like I
Mhm.
literally want everybody to be successful. And I think I need to write a book because I want to help other people find their power business wise, but just as business people as well in the arts. It's very hard because we're just trying to survive all the time.
Mhm.
We forget that we could actually thrive, that we could actually make our own stuff, have multiple streams of income, start investing in property, start investing in other creatives, start investing in other ways, using social media for social media is the most powerful tool that we have still to this day. It's different now, but it's definitely a powerful tool. But yeah, I would love to write a book about it.
So I want to ask you about one more song on this incredible album that's coming out on August the 15th. One of my favorite movies, Jingle Jangle.
Yes. I knew you were gonna ask about Jingle Jangle. Yes.
Jingle Jangle and Miles. I said, now how? Okay, tell that story.
I was auditioning for the part that sings Miles and Miles in the show. And I remember I went in and then they brought in a Forrest Whitaker lookalike to test me with Forrest. You know, Forrest Whitaker's older. And I think they even had to do like CGI to make him look a little younger in the show as well. But anyway, he's older. And they brought him in with me, and I look very young. So, and this was probably 2019. So this was like 6 years ago. So I did the reading with him, and they were like, "We love you, but we don't feel like you're old enough to play his part. Like, we feel like he's not going to look quite right with Forrest Whitaker, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, okay, fine. I was bummed, but I was like, okay. So then David Talbert's wife, so David Talbert was the writer and director, she DM'd me on Instagram and was like, "We can't stop thinking about you, and we can't stop thinking about your voice. Would you like to work on the music for this movie?" And you know what? If I was in my feelings and if I accept every opportunity. I know any opportunity will become something. Nothing is for nothing. So I was like, sure, I'll work on the music. And they were like, "Well, you come record the song that she sings in the show, Miss Johnston." That's who it was. And I was like,
The mail lady.
yeah, the male lady
Okay.
who was played by Lisa, who was incredible. She was amazing in it. So I went to the studio. I went to this huge, massive studio in London called Air Studios. And I'm working with the head of the Grammys, Harvey, and he was my vocal producer. And I'm in the studio with David. And they were like, "Well, how do you think the song should go?" So I got to like create this song for a film with all the producers. And this was my first time working on the other side of the table for a film. And I was like, wow, okay, this is something new and something amazing. And I recorded the song, and David was like, "Can you add this and can you do that?" And we made the song together. And then it comes out, and she's lip syncing to my voice. But the album is amazing. So I'm on an album with Usher and Ricky Martin and all these amazing people, and all because I didn't let my ego get in the way and was like, "Let me just do this." And it's like one of my highest streaming songs. Everybody loves this song, Miles and Miles, and it has such a great message about don't let the depression get you down. Come out. The world wants to see you smile. The world wants you to be happy. Come out of your situation. And it became a hit. And I've sang it many places. And everyone has become my fan because of this song. Like, it's just another place people can find me. So I love that song. Everybody loves that song.
Oh, when I saw it, I was like, no, wait a minute. This is serious. Because I always thought Jingle Jangle should be in the same conversation when you talk about representation. It should be in the same conversation with Black Panther. It should be in the same conversation with Sinners. All of these futuristic, now Washington Black, like it should be in that same conversation because it was the first time we saw ourselves in a Christmas movie.
Yes.
That has been dominated by people who don't look like us. And it was a vibrant, alive story of a scientist.
It was incredible being a part of that. And I feel like I know COVID kind of overshadowed a lot of it, but luckily it still lives on Netflix. But it's definitely was the first time I felt so honored to be a part of that because I knew it was like a kind of a game-changing show, game-changing movie. Yeah.
Now, you talk about this vibrant community that you've built, and that's been a powerful part of your story. But you also have your stage door darlings.
Yes.
So talk to me about them and how much they mean to you.
So they are part of the Believers. I have a little group on my Instagram where I just can speak to them. It's like 1,000 people strong now, which is great. But these are the people who have been at every stage door, who have bought the albums, who was there when we were trying to make it, who was there when we did our first crowdfunding for a CD, who were there when I was a tap dancing egg, who have been there for when we every step of the way. It's just these people like from all over the world as well, which I think is so incredible because sometimes when you see a Black artist, you're like, oh, well, their fans are only Black or their fans are, but no, it's people from everywhere who feel seen, all ages. And they just have believed in me and they keep pushing me. Anytime I feel like I want to give up, they push me. They're like, you can do it. We love you. We support you. Anytime you see a bad comment, I can go back to the Stage Door Darlings and be like, guys, they're like, no, don't listen to them. You're on the right path. You're on the right thing. And having that, and I built that community a lot in the pandemic because I would go live every Friday and I would sing on the live and people would just be listening in their rooms. And I would bring on singers who wanted to sing and get noticed. And we got that up to like 4,000 people a night were watching it, bringing on singers who wanted a spotlight, and I would coach them. And yeah, so it's just like a community of believers, a community of dreamers who believe in me, but also believe in their own dreams. That's what's been really cool. And we manifest on there. So I will say, what are we manifesting this week? I need to actually go back to our old manifestations because a lot of them have come true. So we say, this is what we want, and we're very specific about it. And then we get praise reports where people are like, I got this, I manifested this in this group, and then we come together. It's just a really positive place on the internet where you can feel like it's okay to dream, where you don't have to worry about being like, I don't know.
Right.
So yeah, it's been amazing.
And we need more spaces like that. So that's incredible. Now, before we go, I have to ask you this question. From a woman from the South, as a Black woman, what does it feel like to return to America, to see your name and lights on Broadway as the star?
It feels correct because hard work is supposed to do that, but it also feels surreal because it's what I always dreamed about. It's what I manifested. And it also scares me because I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, this is what you promised me. God, I'm gonna cry. This is what you promised me. And here it is. This is what you said would happen. And here it is. And I just feel like I'm not just doing this for myself. I've never been doing it just for myself. I've been doing it for my family. I've been doing it for my mom. I'm doing it for my niece. I'm doing it for my nieces and nephews, for the girls I hustled with in New York City. For them to see my face says, we can do it too. It is reinvigorating people who have felt lost. is reinvigorating me to be like, it has validated me in a way and at this time in the political climate that we're in, we need validation that Black women do matter, that your hard work is not in vain, that being a Black woman is a blessing. It's not a curse. It's not something we have to fight against. It's something we embrace. It's something that should be celebrated. But then also, you are more than that. You are more than the color of your skin. You are more than your situation. You are more than. And I think seeing it coming back as the star was always the goal. And to reach a goal, it's nothing like it. There's nothing like setting an intention, manifesting, and then seeing it through. And so I always say, when you pray for the thing you want, also pray for the courage and strength to carry it out. Always pray for the health and the knowledge and the mental capacity to be able to deal with your blessing. And so that's where I'm at now, just like trying to enjoy it and trying to be the best that I can be in this role and show out every night. And that's what I've been doing.
What does your celebration look like, or have you gotten there yet?
Well, my celebration at the end of the contract is going to be going to the beach, going to Mexico and resting. But my celebration was seeing my mom and my family all at the gala night, dressed up, looking amazing, and them just being so proud. And she was like, how did we get from our little farm to here? She was like, all these lights and all these people, and the cameras are flashing. She was like, I felt like I was at the paparazzi. It was amazing. So that was definitely my celebration, was seeing all of them so happy. And we've just been through so much in my family. So it's just nice to see how everyone is living in their joy. Black joy is contagious. It's beautiful. It's an act of resistance.
And it's healing.
It's healing. Yeah.
It is healing. So I want to thank you so much for sharing your time and your generosity and your knowledge and your information. And just know that you and Broadway have a home here.
Fantastic. And I think I might stay for a little bit and see what other things I can conjure up.
But you are always welcome on this podcast. You're always welcome. And Broadway is always welcome here, because I know not a lot of people want to talk to you all. And I just want you to know that there's a place that wants to hear your voice, your story, and your journey.
Thank you so much.
How can people continue to support your journey and your projects? And I know that you have a Kickstarter for the vinyl, which I was excited about because I love vinyl.
So they can get the album. It'll be streaming on all the platforms. If you want to buy the physical album, you can get it on Amazon. You could also order it directly from westwaymusic.com or centerstagerecords.com. If you want to follow me on my Instagram, it's at Marisha Wallace, TikTok at Marisha Wallace, Facebook at Marisha Wallace, and stay connected and join the Stage Door Darlings. Get it. I always say join the cult. It's great. The cult of love over here.
Cult of love. I love that. That sounds like the title of a book, The Cult of Love. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And
thank you.
The best of everything to you. And may God continue to sprinkle your life with joy.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Black Women Amplified. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to subscribe and log on to blackwomenamplified.com for more information. Keep shining.